All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the few sisters that watch. Just coming back with another lesson. Don't really have an article or anything, just the thought of how defiled and polluted this earth is, as far as, the environment is polluted, as well as, the morality, the people, they're totally off, man. You see the murder rates, you see the love of many waxing cold, the mothers not having regard for their children, Esau, Edom, not having regard, and the rest of these nations not having regards for the earth, which is precious, man. The earth is life. This is how we get our life, through the air, the food, the water, but this devil has polluted it, so we hasten the day that Yahweh Shem Yahushua overthrow this man, and set up a righteous kingdom in Salakia. Somebody cutting grass. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's loud. We waiting for Yahweh Shem Yahushua to set up a righteous kingdom and, overthrow this man, and get real food back again. Get real, get the water, real air, man. We have no clue of what we're missing. We've never tasted real fruit, especially in the past 10 years. Back in the 80s, things were more pure, but even then that devil had his hand in it. But so let's get to the scriptures. Lord willing is edifying, but we just, hey man, this devil gotta go, man. We ready to get up out of here, man. Our bodies failing us, minds failing us. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. It says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth. And we know that's the destruction. The destruction is coming, man, to replenish the earth. It says, and that they dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So, anytime you want to purify something, fire is the quickest way to do it. I know back in the day, if you had a needle or something, that you had a splinter or whatever, you burn that needle to cleanse it, before you pick that splinter out. Even if you're cooking on a grill, man, the best way to clean the grates is to burn them. I mean, it sure is other ways, but that fire, man, is gonna take away everything that's been on it. That fire is gonna clean it. So that's what the Lord is gonna do to the earth. Babylon the Great is gonna be ashes, dust, which is America. But ultimately, when this devil is overthrown, we're gonna have a new earth, man. We're gonna have a new earth, and we know the earth is not gonna be destroyed. Like the Christians seem to think, that the earth is going to be destroyed. Everybody's going to go to heaven, which is in the sky. Everybody going to go and the sinners are going to go under the ground with the devil. And it's just going to be that, which is totally nonsense, man. So let's get the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, to prove that. It says, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the earth is never going to be destroyed. Only parts of it, and ultimately America is going to be utterly destroyed. You know, no one will dwell in America again once the Lord come back, man. So it's over with. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. Because, man, I just left Home Depot, and it was a Edomite, perceived Edomite, man, he had nails on, had eyelashes done, had long hair, and it was disgusting, man. It was totally disgusting, man. You know, he asked me if I needed help. I'm like, yeah, just to get it over with. But man, this place is done for, man. This place is over with, and he will be flamed for sure. He's flaming now, but he definitely gonna be flamed in that day. So let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 17. You see, it says new heavens and new earth, and this is what we're looking forward to, man. This is what we're looking forward to. With this new earth and this new heaven will come peace. Peace, no stress, peace. Something that we came out of the womb stress, man. We were in the womb stress, man. Being here in this place. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 17. It says, "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. The former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind." I'm just curious of, what was the word for new?
Strong's H2319. Chadash. Chadash.
It'll be Kadash. Kadash. New thing, fresh. So it's actually the earth is gonna be refreshed, cleansed, purified. It says, verse 18, "But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy." So, man, we're going to be so happy in that day. Like, we don't know what it feels like to truly be happy, man. We have moments, but for the most part, man, we're mourning, really. But you have some people to try to glaze over it by, resorting to drugs, resorting to partying, resorting to, being a harlot in the streets, men just wilding out, just to mask that sadness, Verse 19, but it says, "And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying." So we're going to be at peace, man. It's going to be a real heaven on earth, as the Lord prayer states. So, that's what we're looking forward to, man. We're really looking forward to getting out of here. We absolutely hate it here. The sincere brothers, we hate it here, man. We can't wait to get out of here. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 4. It says, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes." So the Most High, man, is going to wipe away all the tears. First and foremost, the elect, and then, ultimately, the whole nation of Israel. It says, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Former things are gonna be passed away, man. This place, Esau's kingdom, will be no more. We're gonna take pride, we're gonna take joy in stomping Esau Edom into the ground, man. Physically stomping it into the ground. Not literally stomping Esau Edom into the ground. Not figuratively, but literally, we will be stumping Esau, Edom into the ground, and we can't wait. You know, we gonna take pleasure in it, man. You know, we gonna get real creative doing this devil any kind of way. You know, so that's the thing about it. You know, we can't wait, man. So you know, this is coming, man. We just got to be patient. You know, continue to do the work, do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and stay faithful, man. Lord willing, I can do it. Lord willing, I can endure unto the end. You know, but we know, man, it's rough. So this is right here says the coming day of the Lord. So we just gonna drop down to verse 10 and get to the point. You know, the coming day of the Lord. You know, is just describing, you know, how it's gonna be. What's the climate gonna be like? You know, in the earth before the Lord comes back. You know, and ultimately, you know, when he comes back, he gonna wipe this place clean. So, you know, and we just patiently waiting. You know, going to you know, verse 8. It says, "But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day." So, you know, you have people saying that the Lord is not coming back. He would have came back. They don't believe in the Lord for the simple fact they see what's going on around them, but they don't believe in the scriptures. Verse 9, it says, "But the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. These words are faithful and true." The Lord spoke and he means it. It says, "For some men count slackness," you know, these people, the unbelievers, they're saying the Lord is not coming back, "but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance." You know, but we'll start at verse 10. It says, "A new heaven and earth." You know, this is what we waiting on, man. All right, it says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night." You know, he's gonna catch all the unbelievers off. All, you know, the 2/3 are gonna be caught off guard. All the unbelievers would definitely be caught off guard. You know, the ones that heard the word, the ones that scoffed at the word, that just, you know, and the ones that took that chip and thought this was going to be a continual kingdom, you know. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." And this is going to come by way of the nuclear missiles, you know. It says, "The earth also and the works therein shall be burned up." You know, this is how the Lord is going to destroy this place, by fire. You know, you had the Christians saying back in the day, especially that, you know, this place, the world was going to be destroyed by fire, but they never said how. You know, they never knew how. But, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, putting the spirit upon our elders, you know, Apostle Hall on down, you know, and the men before him, man, letting us know that it's the nuclear destruction, and we really believe it's through faith. It says, "Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" So we're not out here mingling and being involved, Salaki, with no 2/3, man. You know, we do our best to stay away from these people. You know, because our mind is not in the same place as theirs. You know, we're hastening the day that the Lord comes and wastes this place. You know, but they want to stay here, man. You know, they want to stay here through the turmoil. Some people think Trump is gonna get the economy back going. Some people think whoever come after Trump gonna get the economy back going. But they fail to realize that we in the end, man. This is it. Once that RFID microchip is implemented, you know, throughout the earth, it's over, man. It's over, you know. It's over with. It says, looking for and hastening unto the coming day of the Most High. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's what we doing. We looking for and hastening unto the coming day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Man. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's what we looking for, man. That is what we're looking for. We can't wait. So, Lord willing is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.